In the busy city of Lagos, a young man named Obi stands tall, surrounded by big buildings and the hum of success. He has come a long way from where he started. As he looks out over the city, his mind wanders back to a small village nestled between rolling hills. This village is where he grew up with his family, a place where they often didn't have enough to eat and where hope sometimes felt far away. Obi remembers the tough times, the days when he felt the weight of the world on his shoulders, trying to help his family. He made a brave decision to leave everything behind and come to Lagos to find better opportunities. Now, after many years of hard work and never giving up, he has achieved something amazing. But what happens when he goes back home to see his family after all this time? What will they think? And what surprises await him on this journey back to where it all began? Obi lived in a small village with his parents and 4 siblings. Their home was simple and life was hard. Every day, his parents worked tirelessly in the fields, but it wasn't always enough to put food on the table. Obi, being the oldest, felt a big responsibility to help his family. He watched his parents' faces grow tired and worried, and he wished he could do something to make their lives better. One evening, as the sun set and the village quieted down, Obi made a brave decision. He gathered his family and told them he was going to move to Lagos, a big city far away. He had heard that there were more opportunities there, jobs that could help him earn money to support them all. His mother hugged him tightly, her eyes filled with tears of both sadness and hope. His father nodded, understanding that this was a chance for a better future. The next morning, with a small bag and a heart full of dreams, Obi set off on his journey, determined to change his family's fate. Obi stepped off the bus into the bustling city of Lagos. The noise and energy were like nothing he had ever experienced. Cars honked, people hurried by, and tall buildings seemed to touch the sky. It was both exciting and overwhelming. Obi clutched his small bag tightly, feeling a mix of hope and nervousness. This was the place where he would find a better life for his family. Finding a place to stay was his first challenge. After asking around, he found a small room in a crowded area. It wasn't much, but it was a start. The next morning, Obi set out to find work. He walked the streets, looking for any job that would take him. But it wasn't easy. Many places didn't have openings, and others didn't seem to trust him because he was new. Days turned into weeks, and Obi began to feel discouraged. But he remembered his family's faces and the promise he made to them. He couldn't give up. One afternoon, while sitting on a bench feeling tired and a bit lost, an older man sat down beside him. His name was Baba Tunde, and he had a kind smile. Baba Tunde had been in Lagos for many years and knew how tough it could be for newcomers. Baba Tunde offered Obi some advice and even helped him find a job at a small market. It wasn't glamorous work, but it was honest and paid enough to cover his rent. Obi was grateful. He worked hard every day, learning the ways of the city and saving every bit of money he could. Baba Tunde became more than just a mentor. He was like a father figure, guiding Obi through the ups and downs. As time passed, Obi started to feel more at home in Lagos. He learned how to navigate the busy streets and even made a few friends. But he never forgot why he was there. Every night, before he went to sleep, he thought about his family back in the village. He imagined their faces lighting up with joy when he returned successful. This dream kept him going, no matter how hard things got. Obi knew that with determination and the help of friends like Baba Tunde, he could overcome any challenge. Life in Lagos was tough, but Obi was learning to manage. Each day at the market was busy, and he worked hard to earn every penny. Yet, despite his efforts, he often faced unfair treatment. Some customers tried to bargain too much, and sometimes he didn't get paid what he was promised. It was frustrating, but Obi reminded himself that this was just part of the journey. One particularly difficult day, when Obi felt especially tired and discouraged, a young woman came to the market. Her name was Ada, and she was looking for fresh vegetables. She noticed how hard Obi was working and how he always had a polite smile, even when things were tough. Ada and Obi started talking, and she learned about his story and his dreams. She admired his determination and the way he never gave up, no matter what. Ada and Obi became friends, and she started visiting the market more often. She shared her own stories of growing up in Lagos and how she too had faced many challenges. Her encouragement meant a lot to Obi, and he found himself looking forward to their conversations. They dreamed together about starting something of their own, a small business where they could be their own bosses and treat people fairly. With Ada's support, Obi felt braver. They began to plan their business idea seriously. It wouldn't be easy, but they were ready to try. They saved every bit of money they could, often going without little luxuries to build their dream. They spent evenings talking about their plans, sketching out ideas, and imagining their future. Finally, after months of saving and planning, they took the big step. They rented a small space and opened their own little shop. It wasn't much at first, just a tiny store selling everyday items, but it was theirs. They worked side by side, putting in long hours and doing everything they could to make it succeed. The early days were hard, with many sleepless nights and worries about whether they could make it. But Obi and Ada had something special. They believed in each other and their dream. As they worked together, Obi realized that Ada was more than just a friend. She was his partner in every way. Her strength and kindness inspired him, and he knew that with her by his side, they could overcome any obstacle. Together, they faced the challenges of running a new business, learning from their mistakes, and growing stronger each day. Obi felt hopeful, knowing that they were building something that could change their lives and, one day, help his family back home. Obi and Ada's small shop quickly became a place where people felt welcome. They treated every customer with kindness and respect, something that wasn't always common in busy Lagos. Word began to spread about their honest prices and friendly service, and more people came to shop with them. It wasn't long before their little store was always bustling with activity. Despite their growing success, Obi and Ada didn't let it go to their heads. They remembered how hard it was to start, and they wanted to keep that same spirit of hard work and fairness. They woke up early every morning to prepare the shop, often staying late into the night to make sure everything was ready for the next day. Their dedication paid off, and the shop started to grow. As the business expanded, they had to learn new things: how to manage money, how to order more stock, and how to handle the challenges that came with success. Sometimes it felt overwhelming, but they always found a way to solve problems together. Ada's attention to detail and Obi's determination made them a great team. One evening, as they sat together after a long day, Obi realized how far they had come. He thought about the early days when they had nothing but dreams. Now, they had a thriving business and a future that looked bright. He felt proud of what they had built, not just because of the money, but because they had done it with honesty and hard work. Obi's thoughts often drifted back to his family and the village. He imagined showing them the shop, seeing their faces light up with pride and joy. He knew that one day soon he would be able to return home with good news and help them in ways he had always dreamed of. This thought kept him going, pushing him to work even harder. With each passing month, the shop grew more successful. Obi and Ada even started to think about hiring more people to help. They wanted to give others the same chance they had to build a better life through hard work and opportunity. As they planned for the future, Obi felt a deep sense of gratitude. He knew that without Ada's support and the lessons he learned from Baba Tunde, none of this would have been possible. He was ready for whatever came next, knowing that with perseverance and hope, anything was possible. Obi's heart was filled with pride as he looked around the bustling shop. It was hard to believe how much had changed since he first arrived in Lagos. The small store he and Ada had built was now a thriving business, and they were even thinking about opening another branch. Yet, no matter how successful he became, Obi couldn't shake the feeling of longing for home. He missed his family terribly, his parents' warm smiles, his siblings' laughter, and the simple joys of village life. He often dreamed of returning, not just as the boy who left, but as someone who had made something of himself. He wanted to show them that their sacrifices had been worth it, that he had succeeded not just for himself, but for them too. Obi began planning his return home meticulously. He wanted it to be a surprise, a moment they would all remember. He imagined the look on his mother's face when she saw him, the joyful tears and the tight hugs. He saved up extra money to bring gifts for everyone and even planned to help fix up their home. Everything had to be perfect. Just as everything seemed to be falling into place, Obi received a phone call that changed everything. It was his younger brother, his voice filled with worry. Their father had fallen seriously ill, and the family was struggling to pay for the medical care he needed. Obi's heart sank. He felt a mix of fear and urgency. He knew he had to go home immediately. Obi quickly made arrangements. He explained the situation to Ada, who understood completely and encouraged him to go. She promised to take care of the shop while he was away. With her support, Obi packed his bags, his mind racing with thoughts of his father and the family he loved so much. He couldn't wait to be by their side. The journey back to the village felt both long and short. Obi's mind was filled with memories of his childhood, the struggles they faced, and the dreams he had pursued. As the familiar landscape came into view, he felt a rush of emotions. He was finally going home, not just to celebrate his success, but to support his family in their time of need. He took a deep breath, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, knowing that he was stronger now than ever before. When the car pulled up to his family's home, Obi stepped out, his heart pounding. The door swung open, and there stood his mother, her eyes wide with disbelief and joy. "Obi!" she cried, her voice trembling with emotion. His siblings rushed out, their faces lit up with smiles. Obi embraced them all, tears streaming down his face. In that moment, he realized that true success wasn't just about the money or the business. It was about being able to be there for the people he loved most. Obi's return to the village was filled with tears of joy and heartfelt embraces. His family couldn't believe their eyes. The boy who had left years ago had returned as a successful man. They gathered around him, eager to hear his stories and to simply enjoy being together again. His mother held his hand tightly, as if afraid he might disappear again, while his siblings bombarded him with questions about life in Lagos. Inside the modest family home, Obi sat by his father's bedside. His father, though weak, had a smile on his face. He was proud of his son, not just for the success he had achieved, but for the man he had become. Obi promised to take care of all the medical expenses, ensuring his father got the best care possible. He also planned to help improve their home, making life easier for everyone. Obi spent time with each family member, catching up on all the years they had missed. He listened to their stories, shared his own adventures, and laughed together with them. It felt so good to be home, surrounded by the love and warmth of his family. He realized how much he had missed these simple moments of togetherness. Obi also took time to walk around the village, seeing familiar faces and places that brought back so many memories. People greeted him warmly, proud of what he had accomplished. He felt a deep sense of gratitude for the village that had raised him and for the lessons it had taught him about hard work and resilience. One evening, as the sun set over the fields, Obi stood at the edge of the field where he used to play as a child. He held a small, worn-out toy car in his hand, a reminder of his past and how far he had come. He thought about everything he had been through, the struggles, the sacrifices, and the triumphs. He felt a deep sense of fulfillment, knowing that he had not only achieved his dreams, but was now in a position to help others. As he looked toward the horizon, Obi felt ready for the future. He wanted to give back to his community, to help young people who faced similar challenges. He dreamed of starting initiatives that would provide education and opportunities, breaking the cycle of poverty that had once seemed inevitable. With his family by his side and the lessons he had learned, Obi knew that he could make a difference. He felt grateful for every step of his journey, ready to embrace whatever came next with hope and determination. Obi sat quietly, looking out over the fields where he once played. So much had changed since he was a child, yet the memories remained vivid. He thought about the long journey he had taken, from a small village to the bustling city of Lagos and back again. Each step had taught him something valuable about life, hard work, and the importance of never giving up. He reflected on the sacrifices his family had made and how their love had always been his greatest strength. Seeing his father recover, his mother's joyful smile, and his siblings' excitement made all the struggles worthwhile. Obi realized that true success wasn't just about money or what he owned. It was about being able to care for and be with those he loved most. Obi also thought about the friends who had helped him along the way. Baba Tunde, who had been like a father figure, and Ada, who had become his partner in life and business. Their support had been crucial, showing him that with the right people by your side, you could overcome any challenge. He felt grateful for their friendship and the lessons they had taught him. Looking ahead, Obi felt a sense of purpose. He wanted to use his success to help others in his village and beyond. He dreamed of starting programs that would offer education and opportunities to young people, so they wouldn't have to face the same hardships he did. He knew that with determination and hope, he could make a positive difference in their lives. As he embraced the future, Obi felt ready to continue his journey with a heart full of gratitude and a spirit ready to give back. Obi stood at the edge of the field, holding a small, worn-out toy car. This toy was a symbol of his past, a reminder of the boy who once dreamed big despite facing many challenges. Now, as a successful man, he looked toward the horizon with hope and determination. He wanted to inspire others to believe in themselves, just as he had. Obi invites you to think about your own dreams and the challenges you might face. He encourages you to stay strong, keep believing, and never give up. Just like him, you can achieve amazing things if you work hard and stay hopeful. Let Obi's story remind you that with courage and perseverance, you can make your dreams come true and even help others along the way.